Hello, this is Alexius, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as the French in 1939 as we continue to prosecute our war against the mainland United States. Alright, this is our creme de la creme battle cruiser squadron, so I'm not exactly worried about this one. I don't think we need screens. I don't think we even really need the scouts. Tell them to be cautious, they'll get in line. Do want them to avoid torpedoes. Not want these ones to change. Going up against light craft, I'm looking at all high explosive. We're starting at... Okay, we're pretty far out actually. 31 kilometers, and these are short-ranged guns. Yeah, we're gonna need to be within 15. Alright, we'll start with AP. Environmentals are good. Down to 15.5 kilometers with accuracy increasing. We'll increase rudder. Expose the rear turrets. There's our first hit. Plenty of damage. I believe the secondary is on armor piercing. Oh yeah, a lot of hits. Under 10 kilometers for the next. Torpedoes in the water. And that should be enough to cut those off. Although we're going to see a slew more. I see one right there, and I think we can start maneuvering. Still keeping up with traversal at this range during a hard maneuver. What do we have for Electro Hydro 2 turrets. Okay. Alright, I think we'll have to come further left. Heavy flooding on the destroyer. Or was that a light cruiser? Hard over. A lot of hits as they cluster up. I can't even keep track of what's going on right now. Alright, we are at 7 kilometers. I thought I told you to go run urban chips. Oh, we finally identified the Birmingham. Just in time for it to sink. We didn't even get to identify any of the destroyers. Over in a flash. Did we even take any damage? Yeah, we took a little bit. Looks like a mid-war cruiser. That looks kind of like late mid-war or interwar. Sort of. I mean, these don't match up exactly. Some of these designs are pretty wild. And here we are with our resounding success. And into March proper. We have a submarine. Oh, we're going up a heavy against the Alabama heavy cruiser. Did light damage. We have our naval invasion of Costa Rica, which needs more support. Thought that would have been enough. Definitely lower tonnage than I was hoping for. Oh, there we go. We just need to move them into the sphere. Cut off the rest, and then we're off of Haiti. 5 months to go. Conquest of the Galapagos, 1 month to go. Grand Bahamas, which we aren't even there yet. We'll send the heavy cruiser fleet. And that'll be that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that offensive to get anywhere. Meanwhile, we have our spoiling fleet. We have our wolf packs of destroyers. much don't see any need for them to intercept anything in the North Atlantic. So I'm going to head down south to the presumed locations of the American independent cruisers. Oh, nice. The Army's making some progress in North Africa. It'd be nice if we didn't have to return there. Valencia, we have quite a number of light cruisers and our mine-laying subs. Which we should get a few more of those out, but I'll do that between episodes. I know I was going to do it this last one, but we got stuck in a battle. Taking an inventory of all of our fleets. Before we go, we do want to take a look at improving relations with Britain, stave that off for a little bit longer. We are building just fine. We have just under 100,000 tonnage in our shipyards free, 161% transport capacity. Looks like everything is building. We have another battlecruiser group. We have another battlecruiser group. I have quite a few of those. 3 fleets of those. What do we have for designs? I kind of want more of the heavy cruisers as well. Do a group of 4. That'll be 60,000. And for light cruisers, these are more for the escorts, the other ones are more interceptor harassment. I want all of these to be made at La Coruña, maybe? Which we have 4 extra destroyers at La Coruña. Western Spain. La Coruña. That puts us right at capacity. Otherwise, I'd go ahead and order a few more. We've got the 4 destroyers. I think we're just gonna get them underway somewhere, and we'll vector them in as needed. Valencia is where we're keeping a lot of the destroyers. Are these Daphnes? They are. Okay, we'll just bring them into Valencia then. As part of the strategic reserve. We'll leave it there. Alright, April 1939. We continue to piss off the British. Wow, that poor light cruiser. You know what? One big group. One big group. No need for torpedoes. they be? A quick about face. Smartest thing they could do. Not going to do them any good. Actually, how fast are these? 36 knots? Huh. Alright. Let's get cruising then. Yeah, we're closing the range. And here we are, having pursued them down a stern chase. They are 2 knots slower than we are at 37.8. They've got some 7.2-inch large barrels. And oh man, these are beefed up. They've got more torpedoes on the fantail than they used to. And numerous 2-inch guns. But, alas, we are closing in. And our 5-inch are now in range. Which, a closer look and reminder of what we have on this ship. With the 5 triples. I'll wait till we finally get a hit. %. There we go. Finally got a hit. We are at 13.2 kilometers. Having hit their rear turret. Looks like the second cruiser in our line is now opening fire. There's one hit. Looks like it bounced. And 5-inch into the secondary tower. And another bounce. And another bounce. What do our high explosive look like? 11.5 kilometers. Still out of range. and a ricochet. And a hit on one of the deck torpedoes. Looks like the starboard forward one. We are within 11 kilometers. So I'm going to switch the Pertuisane to high explosive. Which even the high explosives are having some trouble. There, we started a fire on the fantail. And another. Seems the Pertuisane may have found the range. The Langley having gotten a torpedo explosion, which is slowing her significantly. Going to rapidly close now. Torpedo explosion having ripped open the rear 3 compartments. A 4th one partially flooding. What's her armor look like? 2-inch belt. Main deck pretty pitiful. Let's move back to all armor piercing then. Although high explosive I think was our real winner this time around. Because it blew up the torpedoes. Yeah, our penetration values are pretty good against the belt. The deck will be hard to get through. Might have to be within 7.5 kilometers to really get through the belt armor. Which we're getting there. Mix in a few high explosive in there. Destroyed another one of the torpedo launchers. Or re-destroyed one of them. getting in the way. I don't think we're going to be able to get... Ooh, there we go. Penetrating hit. Into the main belt. How's she looking? It looks like it was the main belt back aft. We do have to worry about torpedoes. And I actually want to turn ours off in particular. Alright, you are now ready to switch back to AP, which means the Lapérouse should be within HE range. No, she has finally successfully returned fire with her 2.2-inch battery. Which I don't think our 2.2-inch are really going to do much, so we'll switch the... or 2-inch are going to do much, so we'll switch them to HE, even though they'll be shorter ranged. Getting a few good hits in there. I see engine damage. Flooding in compartment 6? 7. 10 compartments front to back in the game. Alright, the rear half will be using high explosive, the front half will be using armor piercing. We're now at 100%. Put in 5 degrees right rudder. And circle until done. Like a rotisserie. Much we can see from this angle, but it is bad. She's almost half flooded, taking pummeling losses. High explosive and armor piercing raining from multiple directions. Pretty much dead in the water. Very close range. And it looks like the flooding does it. Barely. Absolutely devastated her once we caught up. Received very little damage. But it was some. Langley sunk for very little damage. Saratoga hit some of our mines. US losing quite a few transports. We lost 5 in the South Atlantic. We did not improve with Britain, so we are on the verge of war. Oh, wow. We gain control of the Galapagos and Costa Rica. Oh good, our major combatants did not combine. Okay, where else is the United States? I think we may have kicked them out of everywhere except the mainland US and Africa. Which, just North Africa, and, okay, Portuguese Guinea. I have a good amount of weight there. we do not have the trigger. That is okay. Looking at Britain now, that's going to be a brutal, all over the world fight. Move the submarines to Gibraltar if I can trigger it. I won't worry about it then. They will be our backstop, and then we will move other ones to Rabat. These are mine layers. Politics wise, do we want to trigger? Let's try a southeastern seaboard then. It's gonna be a bit of a stretch, but we'll try it. No real tonnage free. And with the US done on this side, let's go ahead and move our fleets over. I don't know where it's gonna trigger, whether it'll be like Miami or Tampa or what. We could try pre-positioning for taking care of Britain. We'll want our bombardment fleet to come up. Alright, that is looking good, but we'll get a few more tons there if we can. And what are all these fleets and why are they all over the place? Like I got a little bit of everything everywhere. Do we split this fleet up eventually? That I do not know. I'm gonna keep these three here. They can stay. Oh, we have two sets. If that is the case... Oh, I see what we'll do. Move this one up to here. We'll have blocked in all of the American fleets that are in Central America and no longer have a home. We're not chasing this one yet, but that is okay. 59% chance. Move this group down into the Bahamas. All the rest of the ports are blocked except for Philadelphia to an extent. We're not really blocking Boston anymore either. I want to get more ships out of Valencia. That can wait though. We do have... some ships. It can wait though. We're going to go ahead and move on to May of 1939 and see where things stand. Yes, I definitely see us going to war with Britain very soon. We're not fully prepared, but we will prevail. Submarine attacking one of our blockading fleets. Sunk for light damage. And then we have the Fargo, Alabama, and the Saratoga, which all look to be similar or same. They appear to be the same class. Northampton. Yeah, all the same. Just some of them have flaws. Against our heavy cruiser attack fleet. So that should be interesting. And here we go, the cruiser battle. You know what, I want to keep things simple. We're gonna stack them again. Follow, please. There you go. I'm going to start with AP, HE on the secondaries, even though they won't open up until later. High explosive. Them. You know what? I can leave it auto. It's fine. They can figure it out. But the main batteries I care about. Environmentals are poor. Oh yes, let's tighten up the groupings. Looks like they might be running. If they are, oh no, they are not running. Or if they are, they're not running fast enough. Yeah, they are running. And we see the rear of the formation. Let's take a closer look. Some long-barreled 8.7 inch, 8.4. Looks like we are well within range. No, we're at 25 kilometers? Good gravy. Yet still managing to get a hit. Main deck partial penetration. Ricochet. Are we gaining? We are. What's our level of identification? 31%. It's gonna be a while. Looks like that was a bounce or ricochet. We're getting closer. Accuracy is increasing. Main deck partial penetration. Main deck partial pen. Main deck ricochet. Down to 20 kilometers. Aft deck. Only a partial penetration into the funnel. Presuming they have armored funnel, superstructure and funnels now. $19 kilometers now. Main deck partial penetration. Port side. Bounce. There we go. Good hit onto the main deck and midships. Aft deck. Accuracy is increasing. We're almost down to 18 kilometers. %75 of the way to identifying them. Main deck up forward. Two main deck hits. Environmental's just as poor as previously. Half deck hit. Getting ever closer though. We're starting to see belt hits. Belt's gonna be hard to get though. Up to 10%. She does seem to be lagging a little bit in the formation. Might spread our fire out. We'll take the forward. Middle will take the middle. The two rear ones will take the rear. Spread out the fire a little bit. almost identified the rear. Aft hit on number 3 in the air formation. Saratoga. She's got some pre-existing damage. We managed to hit her in several places. Actually got a significant crew loss already. Torpedoes are 12.6 kilometers. Ooh, flooding. Armor is pretty good on these, actually. Take a closer look at Saratoga again. We're looking at 13 inches effective armor on the belt. 14 to 15 on the deck. That is a lot. No wonder we're not getting through the deck. We can't. But the belt is something we can definitely get through if we can get an angle. Confirmed their guns are 8.4 inch. Good out to 12 kilometers. Which we're getting close to that right now. These are only going 25 knots. Do we want to close in or do we want to start angling in? I'm going to bring us left. We'll see if we can't expose the rear turret. Looks like we're not quite there. I don't want to angle out too far. We're at 13.5 kilometers to Saratoga. We now identified the middle one as the Alabama, which has apparently taken a significant hit. What happened here? Main belt penetration, 2 in a row. So Alabama's probably done. Just got flooding in compartments 3, 4, and 7. Going to maintain targeting. 14.7 kilometers. One hit on the forward cruiser, which is Fargo. A little minor deck damage. No, it looks like we've closed in enough. We're sitting right at 17 kilometers. 12.5 kilometers from their nearest. Which is at the limit of their range. And I'd like to keep it that way. Oh yeah, more flooding, aft belt penetration on the Alabama. See flooding in aft steering and compartment 8. She's really flooding down. We're gonna retask all the ships as soon as they are done. How close are we? We are opening up. We don't want that. So let's come back around. Try to close again. Still seeking those lucky hits. Oh yeah, Alabama took a penetrating hit to aft belt. Damage, but she's keeping up with the flooding. Doing a rather good job of it. Well, that's not going to do her any good. Another aft belt penetration, adding some flooding. Seems to be getting ahead of damage control efforts. I see rising flooding back there. Another aft belt penetration. Okay, damage control team's definitely overwhelmed now. Rapid flooding in compartments 8 and 9. And engine damage. She's about done, so we're going to cut in. Let's go to Saratoga. Are they separating out? And if she can get this close, we're just gonna finish her. Ooh, torpedoes in the water. Looks like it was before we made our turn to more closely pursue the Fargo. Back to the Saratoga. There we go, some flooding in the aft belt. Seems to have affected their steering. Oh, more torpedoes. More aggressively avoid these ones before back towards the Fargo. That single torpedo? Dual launcher? Looks like it won't accomplish anything. We'll angle slightly to the side though. Should help us. In case there's another torpedo launch. Flash fire. Rear turret. Let's see if it cascades. We're getting high enough tech now that we shouldn't see too many flash fire cascades, but the Saratoga is done. Just a matter of time with this much damage accruing. More engine damage, crew losses mounting, a lot of flooding, a lot of structural damage. Flooding seems to win out. One target left, 15 kilometers out. Can damage the turrets. Angle is bad for other impacts. We can try to use high explosive on this one. We're well within range. See where that gets us. Accuracy is decent. What kind of high explosive rounds are we using on these heavy cruisers? We are using nose fused. Alright, we already have significant fires. Ooh, torpedo detonation. Big fire back aft. Looks like she has some underwater torpedo launchers as well. Alright, we are now within range of her rear turret. Paishans is going to switch back to armor piercing, along with the Taru. Get a few hits here and there. going to focus primarily on the high explosive. What range are they at? 12.8? We'll keep them high explosive. Keep them all on high explosive. We're not close enough yet. The armor on these heavy cruisers is actually pretty impressive. Surprising ricochets for high explosive. Nose fused. Extensive fire all across the ship. If we keep it up, we may be able to get them to surrender. Or abandon ship due to the extensive fire. Make sure we're all high explosive. Torpedoes. Hard over. Ooh, flooding damage. Looks like we have avoided the torpedoes. Cargo is down to under 20 knots. And we are within what range? 8 kilometers. We could switch to AP at this point. I want to see how the HE does if we just stick with it though. Flooding is expanding. I imagine the damage control teams are overwhelmed at this point, fighting fires all over the ship. Down to 13.5 knots, and extensive fire gets her in the end. Favorable result. Not as many victory points as I would have liked out of 3 heavy cruisers, but the fight went very well. There we are, and then I'm going to call it here as we get ready for the battle cruisers to rip up something else. With that, I thank you for With that, we'll leave that to expect for next time. I appreciate you staying to the end. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.